Okay, we're going to learn how to make sliders in Geogebra right now. What you can see right here is I pulled up an image that a student made. You can see there are two lines, and we want to get the equations of each of those lines. And the equations of each of those lines are going to be linear equations. We know that the only two things we can change in a linear equation is the slope, which is m, and the y-intercept, which is b. However, we spend a lot of time guessing and checking by changing the m and changing the b until we get the line that fits over these two lines. But what we can do is we can create a slider that takes away the guessing part. So what you do is you go up to the top, you click slider. It's going to ask you where do you want to put the slider, and you can put it anywhere you want. Usually you just want to put it somewhere out of the way. So I'll just put it up here on the top right. And we want a slider for slope, which is m. So I'm going to name it m, and you can determine what the minimum and maximum values are for the slider. For now, we'll leave them as -5 and 5, and it will increase by increments of 0.1. So you hit apply, and there you can see it pops up on the top right. We also want a slider for the y-intercept. So you go back up here, it'll ask you where you want it again. You say over here, call it b. And this time we'll change the values for the y-intercept to 0 as the minimum and 15 as the maximum. Hit apply. Next thing that we need to do is we need to actually type in the equation for a linear equation. We know that the equation is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So you have to type it down at the bottom left. You go y equals m times x. You literally have to say times x plus b. And you hit enter. And immediately a line shows up from Geogebra. And this line is based on the slope, or the m, of 1 and the y-intercept of 1. Now the convenient part about the sliders is that we can now change the values of m and b to whatever we want within the minimum and maximum that we created. So I can move this around, and you can see the line immediately starts to move as I increase the y-intercept. I can also move this slider, and that changes the slope or the steepness of the line. Now if you don't like the minimum and maximum that you created, you can always adjust those. If you go up to your slider and you right click, you go to object properties, you can change the maximum and the minimum to whatever you want, to 10, -10, and hit close, and now it goes up to 10 instead of 5. It goes all the way down to -10 instead of -5, and you can do that to both sliders. Now we're able to adjust the equation, the linear equation, without having to do any of the guessing or checking that we were doing before.